Hello, everybody! Welcome back to Stalled Out, episode 2. Yes, as you can see, let's see, this side, Jeremy is our equal this week. No photos, although his favorite photo is right up there. Just a hint of it. So.
Just the tip.
Oh boy.
Thank you guys for joining us again this week. We are doing a special shout out today to all of our UT students who are finishing up their semester online.
Yes.
Working hard. I know it's tough, guys. Keep plugging. You're
Stick
gonna be
with
all
it.
right.
Stick with it. It's worth it.
Also, I'd like to make a special shout out to Stalled Out super fan Holly. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Holly.
You were born. There's no way around it.
It's true. It's too late now.
And we're all the better for it.
All right. Well, this week we are talking about more healthy things you can be doing while we're in self-isolation. As you may know, Knox County went from better from home or safer from home to stay at home.
Yes.
Parks are closed everywhere in the county. Don't try and organize events in them. They will get you in trouble for that.
They're open for passive use only.
Which is part of the focus of tonight. However, we're going to start off first with some of the things you can do to better your mind. This week's is some food items we can make, and I think Jeremy's going to start us off for this one.
Absolutely. So as you all know, food is the absolute key to being able to perform at your best. I mean, and Mitch and I will tell you, eating well is important. Otherwise, you'll never get to grow up and be a fat handler like us.
That is the goal.
Always.
So, some of you may be asking, how did I earn my stomach? And the answer is pad thai. So, pad thai is super easy to make, super fun, and you can pretty much put whatever you want in it. Put vegetables, put spinach, put tofu, put chicken, I guess, put shrimp, I guess. I'm a vegetarian, so those aren't things I would normally put. My brother, who you may be able to hear behind me, he puts all sorts of stuff in his. Sriracha, for me, some soy sauce, and you are good to go.
All right. Well,
recipes.
Yeah, recipe's going to be in the comments as soon as I look away here in order to go grab it. We'll be posting some recipes, and for the rest of ours, we're just going to make you some recommendations. But for Jeremy's, he's got a very specific recipe that is his favorite, so feel free to check that out in the comments. If you have a favorite pad thai recipe, maybe let him know. Just don't put fish sauce in it.
Please, please, please don't push fish sauce in it.
All right. Well, Jenny, what about you? What's your favorite thing to be baking during quarantine?
So I am a baker. I'm not much of a cook. I enjoy the science and recipes, following recipes, and if you do it right, it should turn out right. Also,
Okay.
I love the joy that baking and baked goods brings to everyone. So for this quarantine, I have been making bread, I have been making pizza, I have made banana bread. Oh, so good. I'm going to drop the banana bread recipe in the comments because it is delicious. I plan to make some cookies. You name it, I'll bake it.
I'm really trying to be healthy. She's not making it easy.
True.
She's really not. This is, well, this was almost what our kitchen looked like. But I've eaten a lot of it.
That's what a hypothetical kitchen looks like.
Exactly. So,
What you got, Mitch?
Well, that leaves me, of course, and I'm actually going to go back on the healthy bandwagon with Jeremy. I've been trying to make myself eat better. And one of the things that I like that's super easy, because you can make a lot of it and store it pretty easily, is just a simple chicken, rice, and vegetables. I've got a 5-pound bag of frozen vegetables in the freezer. It's a medley: broccoli, snap peas, watercress, bell peppers, just about it, mushrooms, just about everything you can think of. Pan steam some of that with a little bit of oil, salt, and pepper. Get all that ready, and then cut up your chicken into chunks. You can marinate it in something if you want. An easy way to do that is put it in a gallon Ziploc with some Italian dressing and then just seal it and toss it in the fridge for a few days. The other thing you can do is just cut the chicken up, salt, pepper, Again, drizzle oil in a pan and cook your chicken all the way through. And then when all of those components are done, or at the same time, you can be making your rice, and then just combine it at the end. It's easy to separate, so you can mess with the ratios. If you don't need the carbs of rice, you can kind of back off the rice for a while. But if you have a big run or a big SAQ workout planned, you can go a little bit more rice heavy. Give yourself that energy you need the day ahead of time. So, yeah. Any comments from the peanut gallery there, Jeremy?
I actually do have one. So why rice and not noodles?
You know, it's easier to cook for me, and in my mind, lots of a little thing. It's that Mitch Hedberg joke, right? It's I want to eat a lot of food,
Yeah.
so I can eat like a million of something.
A Mitch Hedberg reference. All right.
Well, anyways, moving forward, I mentioned some fueling your body for a workout, and we've got some more workout tips for you this week. This time around, it's what would you classify these exercises as?
These are to work on speed, agility, quickness. If you guys have done SAQ workouts, these focus on some of those, building those explosive muscles in your lower body, building your core, making it really easy to change direction real quickly, which is key in cutting.
Okay. Well, Jeremy, do you want to start us off then? I guess we're gonna go to a couple hours ago, Jeremy, with
We're
a
going to
clip,
go to our
aren't we?
special correspondent in the field, Jeremy.
It was actually yesterday I was doing them. So yeah, if you want to cut to that
All
footage.
right, here we go.
All right, so we're out here. We're doing what I call the 30. So that's me. 30-yard sprint and throw. It's very creative because I came up with it. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna run 10 yards.
Good. You're good. It's outputting audio. You're fine.
Here, after all this Corona season, bean can. You're gonna throw the disc at whatever target you make. I'm old and slow, so I need something like a shed. And then you're gonna go out 20 yards. Right there is a minestrone can. Again, remember, if you can, buy canned goods. Super important. Super healthy. Isn't that right, Jamie?
Absolutely. I like your pun. If you can, buy cans.
Oh! That's the type of stuff you don't get at private school. And then down there, 30 yards away, is another minestrone can. Again, here, Health Valley, organic. I guess that means it's super healthy. I don't know. I didn't buy them.
Hippies.
I know. Now, let's go ahead and go through the demonstration. So, I start here. It's a 10-yard sprint. And if you're good, you can hit the sprint. And that, outside of the last throw, is the 30-yard thing I just said.
All right, Jeremy. Well, do you have any excuses
Well
for why
done.
you can't hit the broadside of a barn?
I got fouled.
Oh boy. Well, so that's a great version to throw alone. If you are lucky enough, we actually show here how you can do it with two people. Now, again, we're at a public park here, but this is considered passive use, and we're also doing it over a little bit of a shorter distance, 5 yards instead of 10. The reason for that was just to make the cuts a little bit harder, make the turning the more important part over the running. And so, if you're lucky enough to have a partner, you can do it with another person, but please don't meet up with someone you haven't been around with. Don't break your self-isolation just to do this.
Sure. If you're lucky enough to have a roommate or a spouse or a small child who's particularly good at fetch, They can all help you run these drills. However, there are variations to all of these if you want to go out and just do a workout by yourself.
Yeah.
If you don't have a particularly large space outside, that's totally fine. You can do a lot of these in a really small space. Just work on short distance cutting drills. You don't need whole long distances to cut.
Okay. Well, speaking of some shorter distance drills, you want to tell us about your idea here?
Sure. So I went out yesterday and again working on building those leg muscles, the quads and the hamstrings and the glutes. And what I did was some standing long jumps. So here is me. Now the point here is you're gonna get down low and swing your arms if you need to help you. You're gonna jump as far as you can. Hopefully you can jump farther than me. Here it is close up.
Yeah, and you're really focusing on sticking that landing, kind of getting, yeah. These are also known as the Ashley Myers.
Ooh, these are Ashley's favorite.
Yeah. Now, in that same space that Jenny just did 3, Ashley would have gotten about 5 or 6 in. So, anyways.
She's efficient.
She is. She's very efficient. So, yeah, so that's a good one. That only takes 10, maybe 20 yards if you really want to stretch it out, because you can always turn around and go the other way, too.
Sure.
So.
And it is a workout.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, and things you can do in a small space, the last one are a couple different variations of skater hops. This one is really, really works your glutes. It's going to be really important when you're doing your chop step to turn, because it's all about planting your foot and keeping your body balanced so that you can plant and turn very quickly.
And not only is it working those glutes, it's working all those stability muscles in your legs, all those muscles that help you move laterally.
So the first one is a hop and hold, where you go from foot to foot. Those cones are about 4 yards apart, 3.5 yards apart. They're actually pretty far apart. And this is on loop. We'll talk about them. But the hop and hold, you're really focusing on planting, and then using your stability muscles to keep you from needing to use your second foot.
Yes, so you're just going to pause there for a moment at the top of your jump.
So pause, 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 pause. And then the variation of this is the hop and touch, where you are reaching down and touching the cone. Now, the first couple of these are bad. You'll see at the end here, I get into a rhythm where I'm turning, and it's a fluid motion of hop, touch, hop, touch. That's really important. It's going to help you work into more of that core stability. And then the final one is, it's an endurance contest. Set a timer on your phone for 60 seconds and go as quickly as you can back and forth without losing your balance. The first take of that, I wiped out.
True.
But you just get as many as you can in 60 seconds and push. You could do a kind of a superset of these where you go from skater hops to frog jumps, to maybe a third one. We'll get into that next week. And come back, again, like last week's core workout, you can kind of work these in a rotation if you want. So, right. I have to go back to our faces. I forgot about that. So, well, with that, Jeremy, you got anything you want to talk about in the new, not 12th edition, but 2020 USAU rulebook?
Ooh, I've got this one covered. Today...
All right.
Oh, no, go for it, Jenny.
Would you like to share
No,
something?
I insist, Jenny.
I had 2 rule changes that I wanted to talk about today, one of which Jeremy will be particularly excited about. The first rule change that I want to cover today in the 2020 rules is the travel. So traditionally, you have the disc, you take 6 steps, change of direction, you get a travel called on you. Everybody has to stop. You go back and establish position where the travel occurred. You tap the disc into the ground, you ground check the disc, and then play resumes. Now, if the disc is not thrown, so you travel, a travel's called on you, you still have the disc in your hand, everybody else can continue moving. You're the only one that has to go back, establish position, ground check, and continue play. Everybody else can continue moving. So it's not a stoppage of play. If the disc is thrown on the travel, of course, play stops. Everybody goes back to where they were. You get the disc back, tap it in, continue play. So that's our first rule change, is our travel. The second rule change is that you can now solicit advice or feedback from the sideline, from players on the sideline. So if you feel like your sideline players had best perspective on a play, the players on the field can ask the sideline what they feel about an in or out call, or I think it's just in and out calls.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not.
Position calls on the field. So you can ask the sideline. You can only ask players on one of the two teams. You cannot ask coaches or spectators. You can also, if you happen to find yourself in this situation, use replay. So if you are playing in the finals at Nationals and you're on a giant screen where USAU is showing the finals to the thousands of spectators present, you can look up at the board, watch their instant replay, and make a call based on that. It can't be Joe Schmo's camera over on the sideline. It's got to be an official feed or official footage from the game. Probably not a situation many of us will encounter in our playing careers, but it's an option.
Not me.
So those are our 2 rule changes for this week.
And the important thing about that second rule change is that the advice has to be solicited from the sideline.
Indeed.
This does not give Jeremy free range to just start yelling calls from the sideline.
The dude traveled, man.
But, well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up for this week. Remember, we'll be here every...
Whoa!
What? Did you got something else, Jeremy?
Whoa! I thought we were going to talk some music.
Oh, I completely forgot! Oh, it's because it's dark, it's dreary out today. I need some pump-up jams. Can you give me some advice, Jeremy?
So here's my question for you before the solicited advice comes out. Is your mommy or daddy in the house?
Are you asking if our pump-up music has to be appropriate for all ages?
Yes, because I have 2 answers based off of whether or not it is.
Both answers, and people can choose to listen to your music at their discretion.
All right, so if I'm by myself, I'm driving to the gym or I'm driving to a game and I'm like, look, I need to get in a position where I'm going to make the news by the end of the day, I am definitely listening to Hit 'Em Up by Tupac.
All right.
Solid jam.
Like, there are a lot of mommy and daddy words in it, but it hits the spot.
And what's your family-friendly pump-up jam?
You're the best around, obviously.
All right.
Actually, eerily enough, it's I'll Fall in Love Again by Sammy Hagar. I don't know why. Like, 80% of the time I hate Sammy Hagar, but this song, it does it for
Get
me.
you going? All right.
Okay.
Mitch, what you got?
Well, I think my mommy-daddy word song would have to be Run the Jewels' namesake song, Run the Jewels.
It's a banger, as
It
the
really
kids
is.
say.
All right.
Anything on their 3rd album, which is called Run the Jewels 3, is pretty great for getting pumped up on the way to the field. Has some choice language in it, so make sure you know who's on your sideline. And then, boy, for my clean version, going to a lot of party tournaments, you don't have to have a lot of clean versions of things. But a really fun one that I have a lot of fun with on the sideline is the Dance with Somebody.
Oh.
It's a
Whitney Houston.
great sideline pump up.
Love it. Me
So- There
and
we go.
every other white girl on the planet.
And white guy.
And every other white girl on the planet.
Well, not every white guy.
Oh.
Mitch McConnell doesn't like it.
Oh, well. Let's not get into that. Jenny, what about you?
All right, so I had the privilege of working at a summer camp with my sister for a few years. We're several years apart in age, but we had a few years where we worked together and we'd drive to work in the morning together. I would drive. She was a baby. I would drive to work and we would listen to our pump up playlist, and the song on there that we would listen to every morning to get us super jazzed to deal with a bunch of little kids all day was Cascada's Evacuate the Dance Floor. And to this day, that song comes on, it's over. I'm dancing and I'm singing and I am feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great... I mean, I'm also a huge fan of Every Time We
Solid
Touch,
pick.
but, another great song.
Anyway.
Well, so do you have a mommy-daddy word song then, too? No.
No, I do.
Coach Jenny, Team Mom.
I will share another song from our Pump Up playlist. It is Sammy Adams. He's a rapper out of Boston.
Okay.
Anything by him.
All right. Nice. Okay. Well, Jeremy, you got any closing remarks for us?
Stay safe. Pay attention to the news locally as far as restrictions as much as your mental health allows you to, because you never know like what could change either direction. And don't suck.
We want to hear your tips for how you are coping, having fun, being creative during this period of time. So send us your recipes, your workout tips, your accomplishments, cool things that you've done. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, that email address is knoxmixed@gmail.com, or just drop something in the comment section below. I promised last week that we were going to be on the Knoxville Ultimate channel this week. Whoops. So hold off with that subscription until next week. I promise next week. I promise. But go ahead and like the video, give us a comment, hit us with a suggestion. What have you been cooking? Have you been cooking, or have you been hitting up your local restaurants? I know we've been hitting up Sono a lot. It's only a mile away. It's a great dog walk. So hit us up with what you've been doing to stay sane, and we'll catch you here this time next week, 7:30, for another episode of Stalled Out.
Thanks, guys.